Hey, it's Adrian, and today I want to talk about one of the clearest dash cameras I've ever reviewed. This is the 70mai A510 Dash Cam. Now, this has a Sony Starvis 2 IMX675 5-megapixel sensor, and it delivers stunning 3K video during the day. And thanks to 70mai's night owl vision, at night you can easily make out details as well. There's also advanced driver assistance smart features on here to keep you safe on the road, such as collision warning, lane departure, and front car start. There's a built-in GPS allowing for real-time route tracking. We have dual channel recording with the rear dash cam, and you can use the optional hardwire kit for parking monitoring and time-lapse video. I've loved having the A510 in my car, but let's take a closer look to see if it could be your next dash camera, and a big thanks to 70mai for sending this out for review. In the box, we have the 70mai A510 front dash cam, the rear dash cam, and cables to power it. There's also a power adapter, user manual, customer service card. We also have a mount for the front dash cam with pre-applied adhesive. There's additional adhesive there, electrostatic stickers, a 64 gigabyte micro SD card, manual, and wire wedge tool. The hardwire kit comes with a manual and the wiring to permanently power the dash cam. The 70mai A510 dash cam is very compact, easily fits in my hand, and it's also fairly lightweight, coming in at 119 grams. Now we have that front lens here, and this housing can be adjusted however you like. Now this has an f1.8 aperture, so it's going to have great low light ability. And we have a Sony Starvis 2 IMX675 5-megapixel sensor as well. We have the 70mai logo here, and then we have this mount area with the pre-applied adhesive. Now I've already attached it, but you can see it's easy to just, pop it on or off. Now at the very bottom, we have a heat dissipation grill, huge power button, and on the screen facing the car while you're driving, we have a 2-inch IPS screen, and we also have some emergency buttons here to allow you to do things like video playback and also to record emergency recordings if something happens while you're driving. And we also have an LED indicator light as well. On the side, we have a micro SD card slot. It accepts up to 32 gigs to 256 gigs, which is nice. USB Type-C port to power the A510 front dash cam, and then we have a power port to power the rear dash cam. The rear camera is super compact and very lightweight, coming in at only 28 grams. So we have the lens here, and on the rear we have a pre-applied adhesive pad for easy mounting. Now this can also be rotated, and you can hear it has hard stops. Here's a quick look at some of the specs. Feel free to pause or jump ahead to the next section. I've powered on the dash camera and formatted the micro SD card along with picking the language. Now the next step is to add it to the 70mai app. So I'll click on Add Device, and it's already found it by scanning Bluetooth devices. And I'm going to pick OK to confirm authorization to connect to the dash camera. Installing the dash camera is very easy. First, you'll clean your front windshield and then apply the electrostatic sticker. Next, you'll apply the plastic mount to the electrostatic sticker, and then you'll connect the dash cam to the mount. In terms of wiring or powering the dash camera, you can use the supplied wiring. However, if you did buy the additional or optional hardwire kit, you'll use that wiring instead to provide continuous power. Then you'll connect the rear lens to the dash camera by connecting the wiring to it, and you'll repeat the process using the electrostatic stickers and the mount, and you're done. Let's talk about the fantastic video quality on the A510 dash camera. So while it can record at 60 frames per second, I have it set to record at 30 frames per second on the front dash camera because I need to have HDR on, or I prefer to have HDR on, and it records at a resolution of 2592 by 1944 and a bitrate of 22937 kilobits per second, which is the highest I've seen on any type of dash camera. Now the rear camera records at 25 frames per second at full HD, and the bitrate's 8189 kilobits per second. So thanks to the Sony Starvis 2 IMX675 5-megapixel sensor, license plates and signs, either overhead or on the ground, are so easy to make out on here. And even on very bright and sunny days where there's kind of glare or reflection on the glass, I could still easily make out license plates. Now I had a bunch of kind of overcast weather where I'm at, and a lot of rain as well. And even, with my windshield wipers going or the rain just kind of pouring down during time-lapse video, there's still enough time, when the screen is clear enough to still make out license plates and signs. And thanks to the large f1.8 aperture, it's really easy to get enough light to make out details, even at night, again, when it's still overcast and raining. This is just one of the best dash cam video qualities I've seen. When we look at the rear camera video, I need to point out that it's going to look darker than it normally should, and that's because my rear windshield is tinted, so not as much light is making its way in. The other thing is I have heating elements, kind of lines going across my windshield, because in Canada, we must have that to melt snow and ice. So of course, if you live somewhere where your rear windshield doesn't have any of that, your video quality is going to look remarkably better than it does on mine. But even though it is tinted on bright days, when cars are coming up close to me, I can still make out their license plates. However, when it's, a very overcast day or at night, it's far more challenging. Again, only really going to be an issue if you have your rear screen tinted. So once you install the dash camera and you kind of calibrate it, the advanced driver assistance smart features work reliably pretty much all the time.
Lane departure. Caution, front car. Vehicle ahead motion detected. Entering the parking surveillance mode. Abnormal events are detected during parking. Please enter the dash cam album to view the parking surveillance video.
The dash cam can be set to record emergency video, so it's kind of a locked file that prevents it from being formatted, so you have a chance to save it. However, if you're driving and you see something kind of interesting and it's not an emergency video, you can easily just press the button on the dash camera to trigger an emergency recording. By default, the dash cam screen is going to show you what the front camera is seeing, or the front dash camera, and you can press a button to see the rear dash camera feed. And if you keep cycling through that button, it's going to go through different picture-in-picture modes. Now, the screen is one area I'd like to see a bit of improvement on a future model, because in my car I have a panoramic sunroof, and anytime it's a bright and sunny day, enough light makes it into the car cabin where I can still tell that the dash cam screen is on, but it's just a little bit dim. The dash cam also logs GPS route data, so you can easily just connect to the GPS, sync that data, and take a look at it in the app. And this is really handy if you lend your car out, or if people borrow your car, you can know exactly how far they're driving and where they're going. In terms of storage, I highly recommend buying a 256 gigabyte micro SD card, and that's because if you max out the dash cam settings, so you're recording at the highest resolution for the front, the rear camera, and you have HDR turned on, basically a 3-minute recording is going to be around 770 megabytes. So with a 256 gigabyte micro SD card, you're going to get about 16 hours of video playback or video recording history. And of course, if you were to buy the optional hardwire kit and you enable parking monitoring, or you turn on the time-lapse feature, well, that number is going to drop even lower. Just go for 256 right from the get-go. Make your life easier. And I'll leave links down below to some 256 gigabyte micro SD cards if you like. The A510 has been successfully added to the 70mai app. It was very easy. Now, to connect to the dash cam directly, we first have to go into the settings, and we'll go over into System, click on OK, and then we're going to go to Wi-Fi hotspot, and we're going to click on. And you can see it's very easy to navigate around with this. So now that it's on, the app should be able to connect. So I'll tap on Connect to Dash Cam, give it the permissions, and let's just wait. And it says Connect to Device. We'll tap on Connect. So it says when the device is connected, it will be locked and button functions will not be available. So you basically have to do all of the controls in the app. So you can see, yeah, now it's connected. I'll pass my hand under the camera here, and you can see not a very large delay. Let's take a look at the full settings on the dash cam. In the app, it'll be quicker than clicking through on here. So you can set the encoding format to high compression or low compression. Low compression is if you have an older phone model that may not support the high compression video format. You can also set the video resolution. So the max resolution is currently set, and with HDR turned on, it's going to record at 30 frames per second. You can record at 60 frames per second, but you will have to drop down to full HD. Now you could set the video clip duration 1 minute to 3 minutes, and then you could turn demisting on or off. You could have a speed watermark, coordinates, the 70mai logo watermark. You can set the anti-flicker hertz as well. And then we can also go into mirroring and rotation. Now, collision detection, this is all under parking security, and you'll only really have this if you connect that optional hardware kit, so you can turn on collision detection if your car gets hit while parked. You could turn on time-lapse photography, where it's just gonna take a photo every 1 minute or so you can see what transpired, and then you could set a duration for the parking security. So you could set it to unlimited if you drive your car frequently, but if your car is parked for long periods at a time, you may not want to have it exactly 24 hours. And then for smart travel, emergency video. So if a collision is detected, it's going to automatically trigger a recording, so you don't have to press the button, and you could set the sensitivity. Now, if you set it too high, there's a chance that when you go over, speed bumps or you hit a pothole, it may trigger. So for now, I'll leave it on the medium setting and see how it goes. And then we can have the driver assistance systems or features on here. So I'm going to turn that on, and we will have to do a lens calibration. So it's better to do this once you have the dash cam mounted in the car, which I'll do later. And then we also have sound settings, so power on, off, prompt tone, the speaker volume. And I have to say, this is one of the louder speaker grills I've heard. So it's on low, and it's already, really easy to make it out. On high, it's very loud. So I think most of you can get away with low to medium unless you have a noisy car cabin. Now you can also have a key tone when you press buttons, and then you could set it to record audio. So I will set it to record audio right now. Broadcast language is English. Screen standby mode, you can have it to always on. In terms of when you're driving, is screensaver or screen off. I like to see the screen on all the time, so I know it's being powered. And then auto off after stop. So it says here you can set it for the camera to continuously record for up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20 seconds. And this feature will require continuous external power, however. Now, we already looked at Wi-Fi hotspot settings. We could set the date and time and just pulled it from the app. You can also set the speed unit, miles or kilometers per hour. There's also a positioning status you could take a look at. If you go into About, you could take a look at the model and firmware. And then we can also take a look at the driving route data. So if your first priority is to have high quality video, the 70mai A510 Dash camera is a solid option. Thanks to the Sony Starvis 2 IMX675 sensor paired with the f1.8 aperture, it's going to be easy to make out details whether it's a day, night, or overcast. The advanced driver assistance features also help keep you safe on the road, and you can also pair it with the optional hardwire kit, so you have parking monitoring and time-lapse video anytime you're not near your car. And in select countries, you can also buy an optional 4G kit, so you can just remotely connect to the dash camera at any time to see kind of what's going on around your car before you enter your car or walk to your car. It could be great for personal safety. So if you want to experience the 70mai A510 dash camera, I'm going to leave some links down below for you to check it out or to learn more. And if I have any coupon or discount codes, I'll also leave those down below in the video description and pinned comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out some of my other tech related videos. I review a bunch of different tech on this channel, and I'm sure you'll find something you like. And if I can ask a huge favor, would you mind liking and subscribing? It truly does help me out as a small and growing channel, and I hope to see you in the next one soon.